So yesterday we were talking about the cursors and talking about how important it is to understand what each cursor does and how to use it. Very important because you will create a lot of problems if you are not able to use the cursors correctly. We'll take a few minutes. We will take a few minutes to practice using our cursors. The exercise, remember I said I had an exercise for you to do. Give me 1 second. I guess I'll have to find some time to find that. So did we save that book that Excel workbook that we were using yesterday? Did we save it? Let me see. Yes, practice 2. Some of you might just have practice. You might not have saved it as practice too. So go in your Excel folder in OneDrive and you'll have it there. And I want to show you something that usually we don't do until midway into Excel. But we are going to change the names of the sheets. We're going to name them the date that we use them. So let's go down to sheet 1. You can edit the name in different ways. One way that you can edit the name is just double click sheet 1. And there it is selected and ready for you to use. So Monday was 11/29. So let's enter Monday's date, 11. I'm not sure if you can use /, but try /. No, you can't use /. So 11-29-2021. Double click on it. Enter 11-29. Double click on that. Enter 11-29-2021. You have to, anything you enter in an Excel worksheet, you have to finalize. So I was just telling the class that anything that you enter in a Excel worksheet, you have to finalize. If you can see the blinking insertion point, it means that you did not finalize. So we can finalize by pressing the Enter key on the keyboard. And there, you don't see the blinking insertion point anymore. Now, another way to change the worksheet name is to right click on it. So go ahead and put your mouse pointer on sheet 2, then right click and look for rename. Click rename and then type 11-30-2021. Another way to finalize, you can press Tab. So we're going to start a new sheet. I think I used the wrong dates. But let's click the plus sign in the circle. If you put your mouse pointer on it, the screen tip will say new sheet. So click that to create a new worksheet. And now you can edit the name either way by double clicking or right clicking and clicking rename. And this one we're gonna give today's date, 12 dash, there's a second, yeah, 2 dash 2021. And then finalize it. You already created one. Oh, no, double click. Okay, that's 11, already 2029. What does it say? Let me see it. It's already going to do it. I need to replay. And finalize it. Okay, so the 11-12 worksheet, that's the one we're gonna practice using our cursors. So I want you to select cell G5. Select cell G5. Select cell G5. The way you select the cell is just click on the cell. You haven't watched any of the videos. Okay, you need to watch the videos when you watch them. G5. No, 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 no. You header G, and then you look for the row number, and then you click that cell, G5. And you can tell this one, right, that one will be selected. That one will be selected. G5. G, G as in good. So next, remember we talked about ranges. A range is when you select more than one cell. So when you select a range, let's say you want to select A1 through C10. So this is how you write it. A1 colon C10. So that's how you write the range, but you don't have to write it. I just want you to know that part. And you read it as A1 through C10. That's how you read it. No, you can't put it in. When you're doing just one cell, you can put it in there. Not when you're selecting, when you're selecting a range. Right. Yeah. Never tried that. Yeah. One through C10. Totally new to me. Yeah, totally new to me. So class, one way, good question was asked, if you could enter the range in the name box. And I said no, because I had never done it. So I went and I did it. I typed A1 colon C10, and then I finalized it, and there, it selected it. So that's one way to select a range. Another way to select a range is to click the first cell in the range, which is A1, and then click and drag to the last cell in the range, which is C10. So click and drag to C10, and there you go. So those are two ways you can select a range. Okay. So I want you to insert a formula for 10 plus 10. Insert a formula. 10 plus 10. Oh, okay. And insert a formula 10 plus 10 in C10. Not in the range. Not in the range. Click the click on the C10 and enter the formula and then finalize it.
Excuse me, Miss Yolanda.
What's that?
They have to go to C10?
Yes, enter the formula in C10
C10, okay.
and finalize with Control Enter.
Okay, thank you.
Then finalize with Control Enter, click that cell. C10. C10. Why did you go in the formula or in the cell? The formula to calculate 10 plus 10. But you have to remember, how do you tell Excel? How do you tell Excel that you want it to calculate? What do you have to do to tell Excel that you want to calculate? So class, you have to remember that you have to tell Excel that you want it to calculate. So there is something that you have to enter first to tell Excel that you want to calculate. And I just asked the rest of the class, what is that you have to enter in the cell first to tell Excel that you want it to calculate what you're going to enter? And I was told that you have to enter the equal sign first, and then you enter the formula 10 plus 10. And when you finalize with Control Enter, you will see one thing in the formula bar and another thing in the cell where you entered the formula. So in the formula bar, you'll see the formula, but in the cell, you'll see the result of the calculation that Excel did. Any questions about that? Oh, I didn't check. Okay. So now I want you to resize column E to, let me see, resize column E to the 20 width. Resize column E to 20 width. Put the cursor between E and F. There, that's the column resizing, the cursor. And I'll click, hold, and drag, and you see numbers. So when I click, hold, and drag, see width. So go until it says 20. 20. No problem. It's okay. If you went over or went under, it's okay. Okay, so we are resizing column E to the width of 20, and it's 20 points. 20 points, not 20 pixels. We don't use pixels in the class. We only use that first one.
Excuse me, Miss Yolanda.
Uh-huh.
You said column G or column D?
E as an elephant.
E. Oh, okay. Sorry. Just give me 1 minute. I'm gonna fix it.
And then once you see width 20, then you stop. There you go. Let's see. Okay, go ahead and select row number 15. Select row number 15. Select row number 15. Sorry, no, the number. That's the select. That's the select row cursor. And that you use the select row. Number. You have to put the cursor on the number, not between the numbers.
Excuse me, Miss Yolanda, it's row 16 or 15?
15, 1, 5.
Okay, I got eye infection, but I think.
Okay, so now you're going to enter. Any questions so far? Okay, so now we're going to enter, you're going to enter your first name in cell F as in Frank, F1. Enter your first name. And now you're going to use the autofill cursor to fill your name to column J. Use the autofill to fill your name through column J. Let me show you what the autofill looks like so that you'll remember. So this one here, autofill cursor, and it's this cursor right here. So you have to put your mouse pointer in at a certain place in order to get this black plus sign. Who remembers where you have to put your mouse pointer to get that cursor? Right, that little square in the lower right corner of the active cell or the active range. So you are going to use autofill to fill your name all the way to column J. There you go. And then we're gonna press the enter key to go down to the next row. Oh, no. I guess we have to finalize. How do we finalize this? Press tab. No, tab doesn't. So you have to click. Okay, so you have to click cell F2. Now I want you to use autofill to enter numbers from 1 to 5. Use autofill to enter numbers from 1 to 5 from column F to column J. Use autofill to enter numbers from 1 to 5. Enter 1. So in F2, we are going for something first. I know we want to calculate, want to convert it. And then press tab. And then say nothing. Okay, now press shift and tab. Now select both of these. Select, no, that's autofill. That's the filling the other cell. So select to put the cursor in the middle of the cell. And they drag to the right. That's how you set it. Then we use autofill. And drag it to column J. Then select both of them. And then use autofill. Autofill. Third person. Select again. Okay, now stop selecting. Just going to move the cursor, put it. Okay, you already have it there. Now drag to column J. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to do something similar to what we did with our first name. to repeat the same number over and over, right? So in cell, so was everyone able to do that? So,
No, I'm not, Miss Yolanda. I forgot. I write 1 and 2.
okay, so you enter
Thank
one in cell F2, then you press tab, enter the number 2, then you press shift and tab to go back to the number 1, then you select. Remember, to select, you have to put your mouse pointer in the middle of the cell so you get this cursor. So you have to put the mouse pointer in the middle of the cell, and then you click, hold, and drag to the right. And then you put the mouse pointer in the lower right corner of the range, because we have selected 2 cells. So that's a range. So that little square in the lower right corner of the range, right here. So when you put your mouse pointer there, it changes to a black plus sign. The name of that black plus sign is autofill cursor. Autofill cursor appears when the cursor is on the fill corner of a cell or cell range. It is called the fill tool. So we just call it autofill. So we put our mouse pointer right there on that little square. And then when we get the black plus sign, we click, hold our click, and drag until where we want to stop at column J. And there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any questions about that? Okay, so now let's click in cell F3. So now we're going to use autofill to repeat the number 6 all the way to column J. We're going to use the autofill cursor to fill the number 6 all the way to column J. One hint, you do it the same way as you did your name. You do it the same way as you did your name, your first name. Now we're gonna count in 5. We're gonna count, now we're gonna count in 5. Wait, let me do the 6. The 6. And then I'm gonna do my autofill there. Now let's click in cell F4. So we want to count in 5s, right? Whoops. We want to count in 5. So we want to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's what we want to do. So who can tell me what we have to enter in cell F4 and what we have to enter in cell G4? Hugo? Huh? No, we want to start at 5. We want to start at 5. Yes. So Hugo said that in cell F4, you enter the number 5, then you press tab, and in cell G4, you enter the number 10. Then you press shift and tab to go back to the number 5. Then you have to select both of them and then use your autofill cursor all the way to column J. And there we go. It counts in 5s. You gotta count in 2s. You gotta count in 3s. You gotta count in 10s. You gotta count in 100s. You do it that way. Any questions? So if you want to count in 2s, you do it that way. 2, then 4, and then you use autofill. If you want to count in 100s, you do it that way. You enter 100 in the first cell, then you enter 200 in the next cell, then it's going to count in 100s. Okay, let's click in cell F5. Cell F5. And now we're just going to type Monday. Monday. Remember, when you are using autofill to fill in months or days, you have to spell it correctly. If it's not spelled correctly, it's not going to do the autofill. So we're going to fill in until Friday. Okay, let's use our autofill to fill in to Friday. There. And one tip, do you see how you can't see all of Wednesday? The easy way to do it is to widen column H. So you can click and drag to widen, but the fastest way to do it is to just double click between H and I. Just put your mouse pointer between column H and column I. You get the column resizing cursor and you double click. There you go. Fast and easy. Any questions? Any comments? Any suggestions? I'm doing something wrong because the Monday keeps going all day. Monday. sure it's still. So if you don't spell the name of the day correctly, it's just going to repeat what you entered. So let's say you just entered MONDY. When you autofill, that's all you're going to get, because Excel doesn't know what that you want to enter Monday, so that it can do the sequence of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All it sees is that you entered a word. And so it's just going to repeat that word.
Why the number also why they don't continue like Monday, Tuesday?
Huh?
The number, when you put one, why they don't want to continue like 2, 3, 4, 5?
Uh-huh.
Why they don't continue like Monday, Tuesday? Why the difference?
The difference between what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
So first, now we put the Monday, and the way we bracket, they continue Tuesday, Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
But when we put the number one, why they don't continue like 2, 3, 4, 5?
If you just put 1, because if you just put 1, Excel thinks that you just want to repeat the number 1. So in order, the question is why,
Yeah, why they do?
right, why, if you enter the number 1, why doesn't it just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So I'm saying that Excel has to have some understanding of what you want to do. So whatever you enter, that's what it's going to follow. If it's just enters 1, it's going to just repeat the 1. Unlike Monday, if you enter Monday, immediately it will do the sequence of the days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because that's the way that's set up to do it. If you want to repeat Monday, you have to do something different. So if you just want Monday, 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 you have to do something different. And let me show you what you'd have to do different. Let me do that again. And I use the autofill. And you see this thing down here?
Yeah.
If you want only Monday, you click this and you see you have copy cells, you have do a series. Do a series is the one that's selected, right? You have fill formatting only, fill without formatting, fill days, fill weekdays. So if we do copy cells, we only get Monday. Okay? Any other questions? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions before we move on? But it can do a lot of different things as well. Let's say you are doing your business books, right? You're doing the calculations for your business. And you are doing your quarterly reports, So click in F7. And you could just enter, let's see, QRT, no, QTR, quarter. Let's see, QTR1. Enter QTR1 and then use the autofill all the way to column J. There, and you see, it enters because there are only 4 quarters in a year, right? Only 4 quarters. Monday, I mean, not Monday. January, February, March, then April, May, June, then July, August, September, and then October, November, December. Those are the 4 quarters. So there are only 4 quarters in the year. So after quarter 4, then it starts over again with quarter 1. That's why you have quarter 1 at the. So it's gonna, if you keep on doing, so it's just gonna keep repeating quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. Let me continue doing it so you can see. See? Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter, whoops. Undo that. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 4. Quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. There you go. So just keep repeating. Okay, let me undo that. Okay, well, now let me leave it there.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Yolanda.
Yes,
They are asking if you can repeat the highlight one, please.
1 second, let me increase my volume. Say that again?
If you can repeat the last step, please, about to color it, to highlight it.
Oh, to highlight it?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, so we just select what we want to highlight. We select what we want to highlight. And we go to the font group and we look for fill color. Remember, let me see, in Word, how was it in Word? In Word, the fill color is called shading. That's the fill color, shading in Word. And it's in the paragraph group in Word. In Excel, it is called fill color, and it's in the font group. So you select the cells that you want to use the fill color. You click the arrow to the right and you choose whatever color you want. And if you want to continue changing the colors, you select the next set of cells. You go and you choose the color. Is that clear? Any questions? Okay, so then we're going to go back to our handout. If there are no other questions about one last thing. We want to use the click and drag cursor. Click and drag cursor. So let's say we want to drag Wednesday. We want to drag Wednesday and put it below. We want to put it in F9. We want to put it in F9. We want to do Wednesday. So The first hint is to click the word Wednesday. So then what do we have to do to move it to F9? Huh? Uh-huh. What were you gonna say?
I would say to put and F9.
Click, put it where? The cursor where? Where?
F9.
You have to put the cursor in the correct place first. Right, you have to select it first, so that will be the active cell. An active cell has a green border. So you have to click on that green border and then drag it. Click, hold, and drag. You put your mouse pointer on the green border and it changes to this cursor here. This is the click and drag cursor. It will change if you put your mouse pointer on the green border of a cell. It will change to this cursor. And then we click, hold, and drag and put it in F9. And then H5 remains empty because it's like cut and paste. When you cut something, it removes it. And then you place it someplace else. So that's why I'm saying that it's very important that you understand the cursors and what they do, because you can do a lot of damage if you go into someone's even your own. If you have your business and you're working on your monthly report and you click and do something with the wrong cursor, it's going to mess up your workbook. And these cells are small. These cells are small. So you have to be careful where you place your cursor. That's why I always say that in order to select, let's say you want to select your name at the top, you must put your mouse pointer in the center of the cell to make sure that you get this cursor. You put it in the center of the cell, and then you can click and drag, and it will select. But if you put it, actually it has to be selected to do anything else. So if you select the cell and you just by mistake, it moves right there to the border. So when you try to select, it doesn't select because you used the wrong cursor. Or for some reason, your mouse pointer comes down here and you select and it messes up your worksheet because you used the wrong cursor. Are we understanding this? Okay, that's why I'm gonna find that exercise. I used to have it. I don't know how it disappeared. But so that you can write about each cursor and explain what it does. So then we're gonna move on then, if there are no other questions about cursors. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the exercise. No, this is not the exercise. No, this is not it. But let me copy this. Let me copy this. Copy this. Put it in a new blank document. Use source formatting. Yeah, keep source formatting. And then all I have to do is just delete delete this stuff. Okay. I'll have to fix this. I'll have to fix this. Okay. And here's an exercise on page 11. Page 11 has an exercise where you can practice moving around in Excel, not using the cursors, but just moving around in Excel. We started this yesterday, right? Entering data in a worksheet. And we talked about when you complete your entry, you have to finalize. And there are different ways to finalize. When you press enter, the active cell, enter will do different things, but one thing it will always do is when you press enter, it goes to the row below. And the row, one of the cells in the row below becomes the active cell, depending on what you have done. But pressing enter will move you down one row. When you press Control Enter, you remain in that same cell where you entered the data. You press Control Enter and you remain in that same cell, and that cell remains the active cell. Remember, the active cell is the one that has the green border. All the other ones are called cells. you have to select one of the cells for it to become the active cell. You can also press Tab to finalize. You can just click another cell to finalize as well. You can press the well, sometimes you have to depend what was that? Pressing the arrow key is difficult sometimes. If the cell is only active, and you see down in the status bar, lower left corner, it says ready, then you can use the arrow key. However, if you are in edit mode, so if you double click or if you press the F2, F as in Frank, number 2, if you press that F2 key, you can enter edit mode. So when you enter edit mode, you can't use the arrows to finalize. You can't use the arrows to finalize when you're in edit mode. And you'll see it says edit in the lower left corner in the status bar. So, however, if the cell, if you finalize the cell and it's just active and it says ready in the status bar, then you can use the arrow keys. Only then can you use the arrow keys. So this thing about press an arrow key, the access cell becomes whichever arrow was clicked. So you have to be careful with that. And then you can click the enter check mark in the formula bar. The enter check mark. So let's say I edit Wednesday, right? You can see the blinking insertion point. I can come up to the formula bar, and to the left of the formula bar, you have this X, you have the check mark in green, and you have FX. So if you press the green check mark, you see, you put your mouse pointer on it, the screen tip says enter. So you can click that and finalize. Remember, when you finalize, you don't see the insertion point blinking anymore. That's the way you know that you have finalized. And also, a way to know that you have finalized is looking at the left side of the status bar. If it says ready, you have finalized. If it says edit, you have not finalized. Okay. We also talked yesterday about when you enter data in a cell, right? If I enter a number, let's say I enter the number 50 and I press tab, you can see it aligns in the right side of the cell. But if I write, let me go one over. So if I write the word cat and I finalize it, you can see numbers aligned on the right, text, words aligned on the left of the cell. And once again, in order to edit a cell, let's say you want to add your last name to your first name in F1. You can either double click the cell or you can press the F2 key at the top of your keyboard. F2 key. Whenever you press the F2 key, the insertion point will always be at the end of whatever's in the cell when you use the F2 key. However, if you double click, you can choose where to double click, right? You can either choose on the Y of my name, and that's where the insertion point will show. Or I could click on the middle A, and that's where my insertion point will show. But if you click F2, it will always be at the end. Okay, let's move on to page 13. We talked that it's the same as Word, save and save as. So you can read it over if you want, but it's the same thing. So we're not going to, and if you want to exercise, practice using save and save as, there are 2 exercises on page 16. And then yesterday we started reading about entering and formatting labels. Let's start reading that. That's page 17. Okay, Hugo, could you read the title and the first 2 paragraphs, please?
Entering and formatting labels. First, open an Excel workbook to open with only one workbook, update, and available. Actually, all that you need to begin to create a workbook. The default name of the workbook is one, and the default name of the workbook is when you first open Excel workbook, the active cell is a warning. To enter data in the active cell, typing to enter data in another cell, the active cell is error handled by 2. Where you want to enter the data in the Excel
Determines?
determine how to align data entering the cell by what enter. When data alphabet and certain other symbols are entered, they are called labels and are aligned to the next cell. When numbers a formula are entered, they are called values and are aligned to the right of the cell.
Thank you. So like I was saying, right, numbers are called values and text is called labels. Values are aligned to the right of the cell. Labels are aligned to the left of the cell. So whenever there's an active cell that has data in it, remember down in the status bar on the left side of the status bar, it tells you that it's ready. What that word ready means, that it's ready to accept data. So if the cell is active and it has something in it and you type, let's say you want to type dog, it removes immediately what was there. But it only happens to the active cell. So once a cell is selected, even if it has data in it, if you start typing, it's going to enter, it's going to replace whatever is there and enter whatever you're entering new. And remember that the Excel workbook is the whole file. Excel workbook is the whole file. In an Excel workbook, you have different worksheets, or you could have just one worksheet. You can tell how many worksheets you have when you go to the bottom of the grid, this area with the columns and the rows and all these cells, that is called the grid. If you go below the grid, you'll see, if you haven't changed the names, you'll see sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. But it's always good to change the names so that you will know what data is in each worksheet. So a workbook has as many worksheets as you want to add to it. And a worksheet might have several pages. So let me go, where was it? 1129, right, 1129. Some of you don't have this, but I think we did this Tuesday. Here, this this worksheet has a lot of data in it. If I want to see how many pages will print with all of this data here, see if I scroll down, you see a lot of data. Scroll down, a whole bunch of data. And then if I scroll to the right, there's a lot of data. Let me scroll back up. So if I want to see how many pages in a worksheet, not a workbook, a worksheet, I go to the view buttons and I click page layout. Page layout will show me all the different pages and how it will print on paper. This is how it will print on paper. It shows you exactly how it will print on paper. Although this is a bunch of the same thing, but it shows you each page and what each page is going to look like. And the way Excel counts the pages by default is top to bottom first. So this is page 1. Then you scroll down. And this is page 2. Then you scroll down. This is page 3. Scroll down. Whoops. This is page 4, and that's the last one. Then it goes back up, and then it goes to the right. And this is page 5, and then below that is page 6, and below that is page 7, and then you go on to the right again. So that's how Excel sets up its pages. Another way to see and to change the way the pages are going to print is to go to the view buttons and click page break preview. When you click page break preview, you'll see the numbers of the pages. You'll see the numbers of the pages, and you'll see the blue dashed border that tells you where the border of the page is. And you can use that blue border to resize your page and to decide, like this at the bottom, page 4, page 12, page 16. You don't want to print anything like that. So what you do is you put your mouse pointer on the dashed line and you drag that dashed line down, and there, everything will fit on a full page rather than just 2 lines on 1 page. You don't want that. So that's how you resize your pages so that data will fit in a way that is better to read. Okay. Oops. Okay. Petya, could you read the next 3 paragraphs, please? Okay, let's look at this. Let's go back to the normal view. Remember, normal view, that's where you should always enter your data. Don't enter your data in page layout view. Don't enter your data in page layout view. Don't enter your data in page break preview. Only in normal view do you enter data. So a cell, let me go back to today's worksheet. A cell, let's say we click in A1. A cell will fit 8.42, is it 8.42? Oh, 43, 8.43 characters, right? So that means that it will enter, let's say, 1A, 2 A's, 3 A's, 4 A's, 5 A's, 6 A's, 7 A's, 8 A's. And then it can enter half of another. See, because there's not much space left to enter another A. So if you enter another A, you're not seeing all, let me press Control Enter. You're not seeing all of the 9th A. So you'll see all of the 8, but just a piece of the 9th. So that's 8.43, almost 8.5 characters. So you'll fully see 8 characters, but then that's depending on what characters you enter. If you enter ones, you're going to be able to enter more than 8.43. But let's say if you enter a regular letter, only 8 and almost a half will fit in that cell by default. Remember, we can widen the column by either dragging, click the border between A and B and dragging it. Let me undo that. Or you can put your mouse pointer in between A and B and double click. And then you'll see all of it because it widens it. Go ahead, continue, Fedka.
That does not mean that data is to the right. Data is only to the state where you insert. However, once you insert data to the state to the right, the other big subject are going to no longer.
Okay, let's look at that. So let me undo that. Let's say in this cell, I want to write, I am a teacher. I am a teacher at the Carlos Rosario Charter School. You can go ahead and type you're a student at the Carlos Rosario Charter School. Charter School. Oops, I was holding too long. Charter School. So if I finalize with Control Enter, you'll see, even if I click away, you'll see it looks like that text is in column A, column B, column C, column D, and column E. It looks like the text is in all of those, right? But if I click B1, double click B1, B1 is empty. If I double click C1, C1 is empty. If I double click D1, D1 is empty. If I double click E1, E1 is empty. But how come you see all of this text in those cells? That's the way Excel is set up, right? You can type, and as long as there's nothing to the right of what you're typing, it will show all that you have typed. But then if we click B1 and you type today is Thursday, today's Thursday, yeah. Thursday, today is Thursday, period. And finalize, Control, Enter. So now you don't see all of what is in A1. You don't see all of what is in A1. And now B1 looks like it is, the text is in both B1 and C1. Now let's double click A1. A1, if we double click, we see all of it. If we double click B1, oh no, we have to finalize. Whenever you, oops, oh no, let's undo that. I lost my, okay, there we go. If you double click B, what happened? Oh geez, what did I do? Okay. I forgot what I typed in. Did I type in B1? Today's Thursday. Finalize it. So as long as there's nothing to the right, you see now in A1, you cannot see all of it. But in B1, you see today is Thursday, and it goes into cell C1. But if we double click C1 and type yes, and then finalize it, Control Enter, you'll see cell A1, cell B1, you cannot read everything that's in there because they were only in that one cell. The reason you saw the whole sentence was because there was nothing to the right of that cell. So as long as there's nothing to the right of that cell, you'll be able to see the whole sentence or paragraph for that matter. But as soon as you enter something to the right of that cell where you had entered the first sentence goes back to its normal size and you can't see everything. In order to see everything in that cell, you have to double click the cell, go into edit mode to see what's in there. Or you can, resize. You can resize the column. Just double click there. Why isn't it resizing? There, you can resize. You can resize both of them. There. And now we have, let me put some color here. Now you can see everything in each cell. Any questions about that?
I have a question.
Mhm.
When I write my numbers to them, they jump to the next line, they don't go,
You mean it goes down?
yeah.
Oh. That's interesting. But I don't know why it went down. It should have just continued.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, continue with the last sentence, Freddie. I mean, last paragraph, Freddie. Yeah.
When the income tax is, the financial expense, nothing from our- Most of the commands be except but there are some that are the same. Some use the control system, of the what was the paragraph put in words. It's not the line put. The type of in Excel looks much different. Contain some commands that are in the word. So it's very important that it's now there is in Excel. Very
Thank you. So you can see the font group in Word and the font group in Excel. The font group in Word has a a lot more commands than the font group in Excel. And why is that? Word is a word processor. So you need a lot of different things to format your words in Word because that's what Word is created for, to enter text. Excel, on the other hand, you can enter text in Excel, but that's not the main use for Excel. Excel is a spreadsheet. Whenever we say spreadsheet, we mean that we are calculating in this, right? So that's the main use of Excel, as a spreadsheet, calculating stuff. But you can also enter text and you can also format text, but it's limited the amount of formatting that you can do in Excel to text. So that's all you have, just those few. Okay, Irma, could you continue reading? Go to the next page, page 18.
Enter the data in Excel. Then select the data you want to format. Apply the desired formatting. Or select the cell where you want to enter the data. Apply the desired formatting. And then enter the data.
All right, let me see. That's a little confusing. Enter the data in Excel, then select the data you want to format and apply the desired formatting. Or select the cell where you want to enter the data, apply the desired formatting, and then enter the data. Okay. Okay, so you can either enter the data and then format the cell, or you can format the cell first before you enter the data. And then when you enter the text, it's already formatted. So two different ways. You enter text, the default settings, and then you apply whatever formatting you want. Or you click the cell, you choose what formatting you want, and then you type. Continue with the next paragraph.
The styling group also on the console contains some commands found in the styling group in Word. But it also contains some formatting options that are unique to Excel. The cell style command contains the formatting options that are most similar to the style group Word. Actually, the only one that are similar are the heading and title format. All the other formats are especially to apply a certain variation or color to individual cells. See the option below.
Okay, let's look at the top. The paragraph group in Word is the alignment group in Excel. The paragraph group in Word has your bullets and numbering. Excel doesn't have bullets and numbering. The paragraph group in Word has only the horizontal alignments, but the alignment group in Excel has both the vertical alignments and the horizontal alignments. And it has the indents, decrease indent and increase indent. And then the other commands are just specifically for Excel. in the alignments group. When we look at the styles group in Word, we have just one gallery. In Excel, the styles group has 3 separate galleries. Let's see what's at the bottom of this page, and then we'll look at this. Okay, so this is the cell styles, the one on the right, that's the cell styles gallery in the styles group in Excel. So that one is the cell styles. This one here, cell styles. Let's go to Excel. Okay, so in Excel, let's say, click in A5. You can just type your name, your first name, Yolanda, finalize it, Control Enter. So enter your name in A5, your first name, finalize it. And then you can go to the font group and format, bold. You can change the font to anything, change the font to anything, change the font size, change the font color. So you can enter and then format. Now click in cell B5. And now you can apply, let's just type the word yes. So that's default font formatting, right? So let's backspace to remove that. So now let's apply some formatting. So let's change the font to a different font than what we used for the name. Choose a different font, then make the font smaller, make it a 9. And then make it italic, change the font color, and then you can type your name again. Then finalize. So you can see, either you enter the text first and then format it, or you format the cell and then enter the text. It works out to the same thing. And then now let's look at the styles group. Well, let's look at the alignment group first on the Home tab. At the very top, you have top align, you have middle align, and you have bottom align. And then below that, so those are the vertical alignments, top align, middle align, and bottom align. Those are the vertical formats. And then below that, we have the horizontal formats, align left, center, and align right. No justify or justified. And then we have the decrease indent, increase indent. So we have B5 selected as the active cell. So we can, if we go back to the vertical alignments and click top align, you'll see it applies to the cell and it aligns the text to the top. If we go down to the horizontal alignment and we choose align right, there. Or there's this only in Excel, the orientation command. The one that says AB with an arrow. If you put your mouse pointer on it, it says orientation. But it's orientation for the text, not the page or not the worksheet. So click that and choose angle clockwise, angle clockwise. And you can do that in Excel. You can do it in Word, but you have to do a bunch of different things in order to do it in Word. Now let's go to the Styles group on the Home tab. And you can see there are 3 galleries. There is the conditional formatting. Click on that. That's a very, very useful tool. And then we have format as table. Click that. That's another gallery. That's for applying format. That's what I use for the weekly bulletin. I usually choose a different color for each week. And it makes the table, makes the worksheet easier to read. And then we have, oh no, I don't use Excel for my weekly book. Oh, no. Okay. So I use something similar in Word. Okay, and then we have the cell styles. So if you go down to titles and headings, you'll see we have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. We have title. Those we had in Word. But up at the top where we have good, bad, and neutral, we have normal, we have bad, we have good, we have neutral. And that's important for applying stuff in Excel so that you can visually see if it's bad, it's reddish. If it's good, it's green. And when you look at your worksheet, it's easy to just see rather than read everything to find out the information. You can just see visually with the red and the green what things look like on the worksheet, what the information on the worksheet is telling you. And then
Good morning. At this time, we are starting dismissal with level 2 and GED classes. Level 2 and GED, it is dismissal time. Remember, you can purchase your food on your way out. If you need student services today, they are in their offices on the second floor.
And then you have the theme cells that are just options to change the colors of cells. And then you have number format at the bottom. So any questions before we leave for the day? So if you weren't here yesterday, save this as practice. Save this as practice. We are going to use this every day. We'll create a new worksheet every day to do our work. And we can always go back to the other worksheets to see what we did. Okay, so go ahead and save it and close it. Yes.
Like Excel has like logo of these cells.
Okay, so click the customize button. And then click automatically save. Okay, one is gone. The other one we can't get rid of. Yeah, we can't get rid of this. Oh, wait a minute. It has, let's click the customize. New open, save, email, quick, print preview, fine, short, touch. Yeah, yours has been updated, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to update it every day. My
Uh-huh, because yours don't look like the,
email.
Mhm.
Yes, I do.
yeah, uh-huh. Did you have to log out of Microsoft and log in recently?
No.
Go ahead and show the ribbon. Click this right here. No, that's the formula roll. Where's the ribbon? The ribbon. The ribbon is low. Oh, geez. There you go. What did you click?
Click here on the ribbon.
Oh, okay. So now you can click that. Oh, see you. And then click always show ribbon. Okay, so now you can see your ribbon. But
Oh,
this stuff, I don't know what to do. In fact, I have mine also where I forgot what I was gonna show you. Anyway, yours looks like mine now, and not like the other students.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, okay. Oh, was I? Okay. What happened? Oh, geez. I thought I was. What happened to my Zoom? Oh, no. I didn't record. Oh, geez. Oh, two. Oh, it did record. Okay. Okay, see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thanks. Okay, have a good one.
At this time, it is dismissal for level 3, computer basics and orientation. Level
Okay.
3, computer basics and orientation classes, it is dismissal time. Remember, you can purchase your food as you leave today. If you need student services, they are in their office on the second floor.
Oh,
At this time, it is dismissal for level 5, level 4, and level 1 classes. Level 5,
Isabel,
level
mira.
4, and level 1. It is dismissal time. Remember, you can purchase your food as you leave today. Student services is in their offices in the second floor. Have a wonderful day.
Isabel vino. Ah, bueno, porque es que vine y la vi una vez y después dije, ¿será que vi mal?
ajá, no, se tuvo que ir.
Oh, Yves no vino, ¿verdad?
Y no, no, tengo que llamar.
Yves
No sé qué le
y
está
Omar
pasando.
tampoco, ¿verdad?
Omar no vino, no.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit.
ሃይ እንደምን ዋላችሁ። ስሜ አብርሃም ማሩ ይባላል።
Me voy a ir, Ismael me está esperando afuera,
Okay.
porque no sé qué andaba haciendo aquí y me está esperando afuera.
Mhm.
Pero hoy tuve a José, a
Mhm.
Clara, a Wendelsen y a Marvel.
Oh, Maravilla.
Ajá.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Sí, era como
Ajá.
que hasta respirar me costaba, porque
Ajá.
usted decía y yo tenía que repetirle a cada uno.
Ajá. Ajá.
José sí la sigue bastante bien.
Oh, okay.
José,
Ajá.
ya vio cómo la sigue, sí, él la sigue bastante bien.
Me sigue a veces no.
Oh,
Mhm.
ajá.
Sí.
Hey, Clara.
Hello, Clara. How you doing?
Good. Thank you very much, teacher.
Mhm.
That's why this time I make a mistake
Mhm.
when I decided when the schedule
Mhm.
for my registration for next year.
Oh.
I write and all my classes taken by Zoom. But I remember Christina tell me we're not going to take the all class by Zoom.
This class is only going to be hybrid.
I want to take a hybrid.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
okay.
in case it's enough.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So those are your two choices, just hybrid. You only want hybrid or virtual. You prefer virtual and then hybrid.
Oh, no, no, no.
No virtual?
No. Hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay.
Another thing is
Because you need two choices. I have to put two choices, a first choice and a second choice.
just hybrid.
Uh-huh. Okay.
My thing is how to send your video to review in the vacation.
To do what?
To review in the vacation, to study in the vacation.
The video?
No, the videos, class videos.
Uh-huh.
I want to study in the vacation.
Oh. So
we
were
have
you
to-
able to log in?
We have to give back the computer to the school.
No, not if you're coming back next semester.
No, we're not going to bring back the computer.
No. If you're coming back next semester, you don't have to bring back the computer. Uh-huh.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, okay. Were you able to get your internet at home? Oh, good. And you were able to view the video?
Everything, last night I was studying.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See you tomorrow. ¿Mm?
¿Se fue?
Sí,
Claro.
se fue.
Ah,
Ujú, sí. No pudo ver los videos,
ajá.
así que le enseñé cómo conectarse con su internet en su casa y ahora lo puede ver.
Oh, ok. Pero a mí me dijo que quería guardar los videos
Ujú.
para el otro año. Para tenerlos guardados. Ella,
Ah,
para verlos durante
pero
el verano.
pueden ver las clases del...
Eso es lo que yo le dije y que
Ujú.
nosotros le enseñamos cómo hacerlo al final
Sí,
del semestre.
sí,
Ajá, eso fue lo que yo le
sí,
dije.
sí,
Ajá, tú lo
ujú.
tienes ahí guardado, le digo,
Sí,
solo te vamos a
ujú.
enseñar cómo verlo al final del
Sí,
semestre. Le digo, "Ok".
sí.
Ajá. Bueno, muchas gracias, mi Yolanda.
Bueno,
La veo más
gracias.
tarde. ¿Se va a quedar un
Ok.
rato más?
¿Ah?
¿Se va a quedar un rato más?
Un ratito para...
Ah, está cargando
Sí.
eso.
Sí, ujú. Estoy con la registration. Yeah, porque me están todavía mandando qué es lo que quieren hacer el próximo semestre.
¿Cómo así?
Que el registration,
Ajá.
ya me mandaron la hoja.
Para que los alumnos digan qué
Sí.
clases quieren tomar.
Ujú, sí,
Y les está preguntando a ellos.
sí.
Hoy hablé con Gwen y le dije de que no podía pasar al otro nivel
Ujú,
si no tenía ganadas las clases.
ujú,
Me dijo, pero ahí dice que con 70% las paso. Y luego, pero un promedio de todas,
ujú, ujú.
no es 70% cada una. Ganas
Oh,
cada una en 80. Él piensa que es 70% cada clase.
oh,
Y le digo, no, el 70% es el promedio de
ajá,
todas las clases. I don't know. Como que no me entendió.
ajá,
Ajá, y luego ella te va a explicar mejor, le digo, pero cada
ajá,
clase se gana como 85 y luego ella hace un
Ajá.
cálculo y
ajá.
te da un promedio. Y el
Ujú.
promedio tiene que ser de 70 arriba.
Ujú,
Oh,
ujú. Tengo,
ok.
sí, tengo que comenzar eso hoy. Poner todos los...
Y dice que la otra semana vamos a tener el examen de
un ex-
Excel.
¿Quién dijo?
Ellos me estaban preguntando. Le digo, no creo, le digo.
Acabamos de
Así
comenzarlo.
le digo, no creo, le digo, la vamos a tener tal vez la última semana de este o a principios de enero. Le digo,
Ujú,
ajá.
ujú.
Aunque como vamos, tal vez la vamos a tener
Sí,
después,
más,
ajá.
más, sí, porque ya estamos a medio paso, sí. Ujú,
Hoy los puse, pero a todos así, a que la siguieran.
sí,
Así, dale para acá,
ujú,
dale para
sí.
acá. Y ya no, hasta me iba a tragar la máscara porque hasta el aire me faltó.
Ah,
Pero la siguieron, ajá.
Ajá.
Aunque había veces que lo que era en la F1 lo terminaban haciendo en la C3, pero sí lo
Ajá,
hacían.
ajá, ajá.
Ajá, lo hacían, lo hacían.
Ah, qué bueno.
Ajá. Pero
Ujú,
hoy estamos más despiertos.
ajá, sí. ¿Y José se siente bien? Por...
Vamos a ver si mañana regreso para allá.
Ok,
Porque sí, pero
ok.
el problema es que yo lo vine a traer porque solo tenía Wendy.
Sí.
Pero
ujú,
después llegó,
Ajá,
entonces ya era como que puse a los tres así,
Ajá,
y más hacia atrás de
ajá,
ellos, pero
ajá.
de ahí yo Maribel quise ser más atrás.
Ajá,
Entonces ya le daba la espalda a Maribel,
ajá,
pero no le puedo decir que se venga, porque
Ah.
ella quiere estar allá. Entonces era
ajá.
como que trataba de andar así y le está bien, pero
Sí.
ella la sigue muy bien.
Sí, sí. Ah,
Son
ok.
pequeñitos detalles.
Ajá.
Pero al
ujú.
final sentí que me iba a tragar hasta la máscara.
Ajá, ajá,
Pero estuvo bien, porque también se relajó un poco usted.
Sí, sí.
Ajá, más
ujú,
tranquilo para usted.
Sí.
Yo
ujú.
venía cargada de energías. Entonces,
Ajá.
te digo, Wenwen, le digo, ¿qué? Espero que haya dormido anoche, porque hoy sí vas a trabajar. Le digo.
Ajá.
Pero sí es que, aunque le diga así,
Ajá.
eso es bueno.
Ah, ah.
¿Vemos?
Ok.